Hi guys, Jocelyn here. Just wanted to give you an update on our quest to figure out and adhere to the new provincial health guidelines. So in case you missed my last update, on Friday, November 13th, the provincial government released some updated guidelines as it pertains to fitness centers and gyms. They're allowed to continue operating, but they specified that group aerobic fitness activities should be limited to 8 people. But paradoxically, this also contained a clause that allowed for individual aerobic activities to take place on things like stationary bikes or treadmills, as long as the equipment was properly spaced out, which is 3 meters. And the total number of participants is only limited by the indoor public gathering number, which is currently 30 people. So this left us in the strangely confusing place of choosing between continuing to instruct classes, but limiting the number of participants to 8 people at a time. So cutting our capacity by 50%, making the gym 50% less available to our members, or allowing the same number of people in the gym to use the equipment, but not being able to instruct it as a class. So we felt that removing the coach from the situation didn't help make anything any safer. The coach is there for a variety of reasons. All of them are for our members' best interest, but currently during COVID, the coach is there to adhere to a timeline, to make sure that people are in and out on a schedule that prevents any congregating or crowding as people are coming in and out in the entrance areas of the gym, to supervise the social distancing, making sure people stay in their squares, to make sure people are wearing their masks in the places where they're supposed to be, and then to make sure that all the equipment is properly cleaned and sanitized when we're all done. So we felt strongly that removing the coach from that situation was definitely not making anything safer. And if anything, it was making things much worse. And we feel that we need to advocate on your behalf for you to have the safest possible place for you to keep up with your healthy fitness habits. So we've been in contact with everyone we can think of. We've reached out to multiple MLAs. I've spent time on the phone with the Support for Business helpline, sent them a big email as well with our concerns. I've attempted to reach the public health office in Saskatoon unsuccessfully. They don't answer the phone. So the conclusion where we've ended up, we've been looking for answers or some clarification on what these couple of vague sentences that we were given on Friday actually mean. What was the intention of their new guidelines? The reality that we've come to is that nobody really knows. There's no one that can answer the questions that we have. So we're kind of on our own to do our best to interpret the spirit of what we think they were going for. So there is a clause in the Reopen Saskatchewan guidelines that says group fitness classes that involve lower intensity activities, they specify yoga and Pilates, have a lower risk of transmission. These types of classes can be offered. They say if 2 meters of distancing can be maintained and class size must comply with the public gathering restrictions, which is currently 30 people. So David, our master of programming here at Brio, the one that comes up with all the super fun WODs that you guys are used to, had the very creative idea to do this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, we're going to keep our regular class schedule on the hour with 15 participants. And in these classes, we're going to do lower intensity strength and skill work. So you'll have the coach there. We'll work on our weightlifting and gymnastics and things that take place at lower intensity. We are still going to maintain our 10-foot social distancing. We're going to stay in our squares, even though we could technically go down to 2 meters, just because we're used to our squares and we like that system. We're going to keep the maximum distancing. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we're going to run our hard, heavy breathing cardio WODs with groups of 8 people, and we're going to run them every half hour. So they'll be 25-minute classes. So you can expect to come in and do a shorter, high intensity cardio burner. That'll be our assault bikes and rowers and wall balls and thrusters and the things that make us really out of breath. And we'll do those things with 8 people every half hour. So in the hour, we'll still be able to get the same number of people through their workout for the day. But we think that this helps us adhere to the guidelines where they seem to be pretty specific about aerobic group fitness activity. So to them, it must be something about when we start to breathe heavier, even though counterintuitively, if we remove the coach from that situation, we could have up to 30 people lined up on treadmills and bikes 3 meters apart, breathing heavy in the same room. And somehow that's okay. But that's the part we can't really make sense of. But anyway, this is our best bet. So we're going to do this starting Monday next week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, the class schedule is unchanged. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, if you take a look at the Brio app, the classes are now every half hour. So if you were signed in for one of those classes on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday next week, you are not signed in anymore. So we're going to need you to go in and re-sign into the class. So if you were signed in for 6 a.m., we need you to go in and pick whether you're coming at 6 or 6:30, just so we know when to expect you. So each of those classes is set with a strict 8-person limit. So we super appreciate your patience with us. We swear we're doing the very best we can to try to make sense of all this. This could very well change again in another couple days or another week, but for sure, next week, the week of the 20s of November, we'll operate like this. We think it's a creative solution to try to keep the most number of people keeping up with their healthy exercise habits, but still try to adhere to the spirit of the new provincial health guidelines. As always, if you have any questions, please let us know. info@crossfitbrio.com. Thanks, guys.